Hello, my little wordlings. Today I thought I would share my summer yard sale book haul. I actually didn't hit that many yard sales, which is probably for the best for all involved. But here are some great picks. Daisy Chained by Vera Constantino. She is a local author and probably should have priced for one of her books, but it was at a yard sale, so it was hard not to want to just pick it up as soon as I saw it. I've read some of her poetry and it's delightful. So, looking forward to this one. Thomas King, Indians on Vacation. I love Thomas King books. The Inconvenient Indian is one of my favorite books of all time. I like Truth and Bright Water and Green Grass and Running Water. I always get the titles confused, but he's a fantastic author and I can't wait to read more from him. Born with Teeth, Kate Mulgrew's biography. I don't know anything about her. She was in Star Trek, and that's why I like her, but I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not. But I'll find out. When I was going through these books, I found one book that had grown mold, and I had to throw it out, and now I'm afraid that it spread to all my books, so I'm just checking them all. Because this one obviously has a little bit of water damage, but I think we're good. So this is My Road from Damascus by Jamal Seed. Now, I'd never heard of this book, so someone who survived in one of Syria's military prisons. So I can imagine this is going to be a difficult read, but well worth the effort. If you've read any of these, tell me if I made good choices. See, it grew mold while it was sitting in this bag. It hasn't touched water since it's been here, so that's the risk you run by buying used books from yard sales. Dean Koontz, Watchers. I don't know anything about this book in particular, but I do like Dean Koontz as an author. Dare I say maybe a little bit more than Stephen King. I know I don't know why they have a rivalry. They write in the same genre, but their books are massively different. So there shouldn't be any kind of rivalry because they appeal to the same people because of the genre they write, or they appeal to completely different people based on their style. But yes, Dean Koontz is awesome. I find Stephen King is more about the scenery, and he paints a vivid picture of how everything is around. Stephen King is really good at creating atmosphere. Dean Koontz is really good at character development. And I tend to fall in love with books who have really solid characters. So that's why I prefer Dean Koontz, but I can recognize how good Stephen King is. And technical writing basics, doesn't hurt to get more books about writing, because you know you're going to read them all, right? All Families Are Psychotic by Douglas Coupland, who, again, another amazing Canadian author. I could read all of his books. Hey Nostradamus, I think was the last. It was either Hey Nostradamus or J-Pod was the last one I read. I still have Life After God sitting on my shelf that I haven't read yet, and this will sit beside it just for a little bit. Looks freaking brand new. I think I got this one from a library sale. Jeffrey Eugenides, Fresh Complaint. I read The Virgin Suicides, and I saw the movie. I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was pretty good. So I would like to read another one. When someone has a classic novel, sometimes it gets so popular that you forget that they probably have other books. Agony of Bun O'Keefe by Heather Smith. There we go. I remember reading what this was about and wanting to read it. It's been on my to-be-read list, like to buy forever, and you think I can remember what it's about now. These are the pains of the bibliophile. You get me. Okay. This one, not 100% sure if I made a good choice with this one. It's called Report from a Place of Burning by George Looney. Now, I'm going to read the back to you because it's really small blurb. It's summer in a Midwestern city and babies are burning in their cribs under odd circumstances. The truth of what's happening is elusive, tied up in the underlying difference between knowing and believing. The 6 narrators include a mother surrounding herself with her paintings of flame-engulfed buildings, a detective obsessed with solving the crime of the burned babies, and a prophet who sees everything in terms of the Book of Revelations. Metaphorical and real burning is a part of life of each narrator, with music and arts as recurring elements. These, the novel suggests, can reshape the world as well as haunt and devastate us now and then save us. Really afraid that it's an overtly religious book, but burning babies, you kind of want to see where that goes. So I'll take a chance, plus it's not too big. Tales to Astonish, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and the American Comic Book Revolution. This one I'm very looking forward to reading. I like to know a little bit of the background of, I'm not gonna lie, I did read comics when I was younger, but not that much. I did watch the Marvel and DC cartoons in the 80s and early 90s of Batman and the Avengers and whatnot, and Hulk. Loved Hulk. Love the live action Hulk. Loves Lou Ferrigno. So this is more of that era. Let me look at the publication date before I keep going on that. Yeah, 2004. This is way before the Marvel movies ever started to be a thing, so I'd like to see the perspective from that angle. No Logo, Taking Aim at the Brands by Naomi Klein. Now, I know Naomi Klein is problematic with her feminism in some ways, but this is a classic that I remember wanting to read forever. I used to read this magazine called Adbusters, and they advocated for putting a black circle on all your clothing, especially over logos, and that would show that you're part of this no logo movement. Looking forward to that. And you can tell that this used to be somebody's textbook, so I like reading little notes in the margins. Harlan Coben, The Boy from the Woods. Never heard of it, but the man known as Wild is a mystery to everyone, including himself. He lives feral in the woods. That's where I stopped reading the back. And I think I'm going to give this a try. These next two I actually got from a book swap. So Scion the Fox. This is me stepping out of the books I usually read. I'm not big into fantasy books, but I was told this one was actually pretty good. And this next one as well. Iron Widow. Now, this is the back. Like its ferocious heroine, Iron Widow is brutal, bloodthirsty, and full of rage. Zydians fight to shatter the patriarchal definitions of power, makes for a truly thrilling read. Now that is a review. I bought the complete poems and plays of T.S. Eliot. Never actually read anything by T.S. Eliot before. So I'm going to start with all of them. Yeah, I know there's coffee stains on it. Nod by Adrian Barnes. And it's set in Vancouver, and I usually gravitate towards Canadian books. Maybe it's because I'm a Canadian author and I just wanted to be part of that social circle. And last but not least, tea. And it's about tea rituals across the world and has recipes for tea and nice and simple and cute. So if I go to other yard sales, I'll build another collection for another video, but that's probably it for the season. I hope you all have a steady brain day, and I will see you next time. Bye!